Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening, whenever you're listening. Welcome to Corner Flag podcast, which is being hosted by Mukesh Manjunath this time because Amogh is sick, apparently. He's lovesick, so he's
He's
traveling. He has a wife, a life, a family. Whereas everyone here, we don't have anything going on, but a great podcast for you. We're going to be talking about Ivan Toney's free kick and Jordan Henderson returning to Ajax and an incredible quiz at the end of the game. Welcome to the Corner Flag. Hello, boys. Mark your attendance. Please announce yourselves. Who all are here?
Who all are here, it seems. I feel like Mookie hasn't done this for a while.
That's Prashant.
By this, Mukesh hasn't been on the podcast for a very long time. He's like, now, how does Amogh usually start? What do we do? Roll numbers kya hai?
That's Aakarsh. Yeah, it's a strange feeling to be being the head of the podcast as the leader.
It's like when the naughtiest boy in the class is made class monitor. Na? It's like, mujhe jo bhi karna hai, main karunga.
You get marks if you praise Liverpool. No. But let's discuss, what have you guys been up to? How has it been following the world of football or the world in general?
Oh, world of football, terrible. World in general, however, terrible.
Also terrible.
Yeah, also
correct.
terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
That's true.
Everything is
but
garbage.
Given that there's a lot happening in the real world and we don't know what we can and we can't comment on, let's stick to football because, you're living in a special kind of hell when the hate from football fans is preferred over any other forms of hate that you can really receive. And I think that's saying a lot about how kind football fans really are. And, that I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, teda hai, par mera hai. So I prefer the hate of football fans. So Aakarsh, are you feeling better about Everton? Have you made peace with it? Of course, I'm referring to Everton facing the threat of points deduction.
No, absolutely not. I feel like it's garbage and I don't get it, guys. How are we being punished for the same thing twice? It makes no sense to me. Whatever.
Yeah, excellent.
That says enough. Exactly what Mukesh is like. Where was Aakarsh and just marking his words, and he's just like, I'm done with Everton once again.
Exactly. And Prashant, what do you feel about Chelsea gaining unfair advantages in the transfer market?
Have they gotten unfair advantages?
Being fully punished for it.
They haven't gotten any punishment yet. Yeah. I mean, I suppose we are still very eager to get this thing fixed in the books before anything happens. How do I feel about it? I don't care.
You don't care. Excellent. As you would.
We're 3 weeks into the winter transfer window and it's been so quiet.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is all because of the 10-point deduction and this current punishment that Forest and Everton have gotten. And it's just awful that Everton were the guinea pigs and gave the Premier League the opportunity to become the guinea pigs. But clearly everyone's like, we can't spend any money. We're all making losses. How are we going to show that we're in profit? This makes no sense. Which is why it's been so quiet, and the only deals that are being discussed are loan deals, if at all.
Yeah, and if also, I think pretty much every club now, I feel like, has done something shady. Like, I think maybe actually that's also why probably every club has just gone quiet without being like, hey man, you know what, life's okay. Because if Everton are not, like, I really doubt that Everton and Nottingham Forest are the pits of corruption. Like, of course, you leave out Man City and Chelsea, who are like the champions and bastions of corruption. But I really doubt the other clubs aren't like between them, there are 16 other clubs. I'm sure they've all done something shady. They must have. One of them must
Of
be
course.
smuggling in kids from Europe or from Africa. A couple of them are probably lying about their actual ages. 3-4 of them are lying about, lineage. Like, I'm sure there's all sorts of corruption happening at youth
Well,
levels.
for sure. Newcastle is I'm sure in some shady shit and has spent a lot of money. There's lots of skeletons, and there have been for a very long time, and maybe now one by one they'll come out. It's
Yeah.
going to be interesting because it feels like every year now we're just going to be like, ooh, okay, so this team has a 10-point lead, but when will the deduction kick in? 10, 10, 10. It's going to be like I don't know how we're going to enjoy football when off the pitch it's just going to be decided so often.
Yeah, excellent. That's a very positive note. I think world football is clearly in a good place.
Yay, corruption.
Corruption.
Capitalism for the win.
Let's go. I think it's a good note that we've started on. Now let's go to the things that really gave everybody in this podcast a lot of joy. Are you sure about that? You guys want to get into this? Let's go. So what do we think about Ivan Toney coming back and Brentford beating Nottingham Forest? But there seems to be allegations of cheating on Ivan Toney in his comeback match. What are the chances of that happening? Quite high, but still, what are the chances?
Very high. It feels like he's just come back from like an 8-month ban for cheating, and then on his first game back, blatantly cheating. It's like, it feels like he really enjoyed his 8-month ban. He's like, shit, now I have to do work again. Let's give them a reason to ban me right away. I was enjoying my holiday.
19th minute in, and probably his second or third touch of the game, he's down to what many are considering cheating. And I think even the fans started singing, or rival fans started singing, ban him again, ban him again. And he's, of course, saying
I think that was just because he scored.
Yeah. Aakarsh, do you want to explain to the neutral audience what happened?
So if you haven't watched it, he basically got a free kick. I think he was the one who won the free kick as well. It was on the edge of the box, but not entirely central, but still slightly central. I think he'd have liked it a little bit more in the corner. So the referee, as he always does, puts the foam marking for where the ball has to be placed. The ball is placed. The Forest keeper starts lining up his wall, decides exactly where the wall is kept. Now, I've watched this clip a few times, okay? This was properly planned. You can see Ivan Toney cover his mouth and say something to his teammate, who then immediately walks over to the referee and distracts the referee. While Ivan Toney picks up the ball, moves it to the side, picks up the foam, puts the foam at the new spot, and then he's like, you know what? No one realized I did that. Fuck it, might as well move it slightly more. And he moves it a second time and gains that little bit of advantage because the wall was set as per where the ball was supposed to be positioned. This guy's moved it, I'd say, at least a foot to the right.
Yeah, a foot to the right is about a fair
and curled it around the wall, and it's gone in, and that's how he's got his comeback goal. But I feel like that's not okay, man.
Yeah. So, of course, I think it's obviously moving the football beyond where it's supposed to be put is wrong. And of course, there was something very suspicious about the way Ivan Toney did it, where it didn't seem like a mistake. It seemed very much premeditated. But I think a little bit, because think about this, right? Goalkeepers never follow the 6-second rule. Throw-ins are never taken from the exact place where the ball goes out. So I think in football, you see people taking advantages of a yard here or there. I think it also feels really incredibly illegal that goalkeepers get data on their bottles when they're taking a penalty shootout, during a penalty shootout. So I think there is a lot of grey space in football. And I think Ivan Toney just took advantage, but it doesn't help that he came from an 8-month ban, which makes it particularly extra that it feels like he was cheating. And
you have to give him props, though, for moving the foam, making it believable.
Yes, exactly. He
No, but
takes something.
it's not more believable. It's more blatant. There are like 300 cameras in that one
Yeah, but they don't
stadium,
care. As long as
not
he couldn't,
counting.
as long as he could bamboozle the referee. To be fair, he said, "Mera line udhar hi hai. I can go and take the
But
kick."
but that's my point. Why isn't, when there is something called VAR, when there are 2 assistant referees and there are 4 other referees watching on these said 300 cameras, koi to bolo? Because I feel like comparing it to the 6-second rule or a throw-in is slightly apples and oranges, because you can't score directly from a throw-in or from a keeper taking a drop kick. So this, and I get that every free kick, even if it's a indirect free kick, you steal a few yards.
Yeah.
I would maybe potentially be okay with Ivan Toney if he moved the ball 1 foot to the right before the wall was set, because then the keeper and the wall are positioned as per where the ball is. He moved it so surreptitiously that it was after the wall was set, and that 1 foot made the entire difference, because he had that slight more room around the wall to curl it into the near post. So I feel like not cool, man. And the referees should have seen it, and VAR should be allowed to intervene and stop something like this, because I feel like that free kick would have hit the wall if he hadn't moved it 1 foot to the right.
I don't know. I'm a little. I think this is being. I feel like I distinctly remember. I'm not sure exactly who, but I remember I've seen other footballers play around with where the ball is kept. You know this, as long as it's not. I don't know. As long as it's not such a crazy advantage that it's like. I think it's okay. I think maybe a player can even take it back. Again, I'm not sure what the exact law is, but it didn't seem. I think what I'm trying to say is it didn't seem that unnatural from what I've seen in many other games, right? It just didn't help that Toney made it so suspicious.
Yeah.
I think he looked a lot more shady. And I'm like, hey man, you don't have to be. It's like someone who acts shady while not tipping a waiter, right? It's like you don't act. It's not a crime, but you don't have to act like you're doing something illegal, which makes it look way worse while doing it. Especially if you're coming back.
I feel like he was doing something illegal.
Yeah. Especially if you're coming back from, say, killing a waiter or something, then don't do that. Don't commit crimes like these. But yes, that was Brentford.
But it was quite a nuts game. And Forrest is complained to the PGMOL. I think the PGMOL with Howard Webb as the head is now just like, they have an internal thing going about, let's see how much we can let these players get away with. How much can we actually it's like that, what's that show where a bunch of friends are just in a person's ears?
Impractical Jokers.
And Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
It's like VAR is Impractical Jokers.
VAR is Impractical Jokers. That's it. That is it. Because I know even Nuno Espirito, the manager of Nottingham Forest, said that this is the first time, and he was too shocked as to how that was allowed. And he'd never seen anything like it. It's a little strange. Did it seem that crazy to you?
I don't think so. I think this is another addition. I see, personally for me, I think it was a fun element to the game.
Yeah.
Because this feels like the kind of shithousery that players would do back in the day or like earlier on and just get away with it. This feels like that fun thing in it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm adding on to what Prashant is saying, which is that, and maybe this might go against what Aakarsh has been ranting about and go against his general demeanor of hatred for football in the last couple of months, which is that I feel like the problem with modern football is there are too many cameras.
Hey, listen, sorry to interrupt, but I've been hating football for the last 2 years now.
2 years. I think 18. I think since you chose about Everton, that's probably when you started hating football. No, but I think in general, the problem is football now has too many cameras. And I think till now what fans thought were exact, clean, clear-cut calls. People are realizing are very fuzzy, very gray spaces that players and referees operate in. And I think it's shocking to fans, and maybe players have always known it. Referees have always known it, that some games just go that way, some referees intimidated, some players underperform, some players cheat a little bit here and there. But I think fans, especially fans outside of the actual stadium, now are realizing that how inaccurate and how grey football is. And I think maybe the best way to get over this is to reduce the number of cameras in the stadium to about like 5 cameras, and then be like, now you decide
Sure.
whatever you want to.
Yeah, because then I feel like eradicate VAR. Go back to what football was pre-VAR. Because I get that football is
You
great.
find out in the headlines the next day. You find
Yeah,
out.
when I can see the gray areas so blatantly and nothing's done about them, then it feels like, yaar, then much dikhao na. Like, let me not realize how great it is. But I feel like we should put up a poll and see where our listeners stand on this whole Ivan Toney situation, because I'd love to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's a great return for him. I think there was a general sense that his ban was maybe fair, but it didn't feel like other players who were probably caught in such circumstances were given equal number of bans, or players who were accused of bigger crimes received shorter bans. So I think there was some general amount of sympathy towards him. So good to see him back. Hopefully some big club goes for him, because God knows the top 6 or top 10 clubs need a big goal scoring Premier League striker. Tottenham
He's
had
been
to
linked with
resort.
Arsenal quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will also do well with him. Arsenal will do well with him.
Of course, why not?
I mean, to think of how desperate the striker situation is in the Premier League, Tottenham have had to go for Timo Werner. I think that really tells you how desperate the Premier League is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And on his first game, he proved how wasteful and terrible he is as a finisher.
Oh, but that didn't need proof. I know we came into that having that expectation, so I don't know. That's not really a surprise. That's as Amogh and I had once discussed, I think, a couple of episodes earlier, that he wants a fail competition. Like he wants that. He and Nunez are competing for that one.
Who's worse?
Who's worse? So who can miss more?
Man.
And speaking of
an interesting
fail
poll
comps,
as well.
we come to the game when Nunez scored 2 goals. And for all this shit talking about how bad Nunez and how wasteful he's been, he has, I think, 10 goals and 10 assists this season, which I think which are fantastic numbers. But we are talking about the Bournemouth game, Liverpool versus Bournemouth versus Liverpool game, which was held at Vitality. And Liverpool ended up winning 4-0. The first half ended 0-0, but then Liverpool managed to score 4 goals, 2 goals by Diogo Jota and 2 goals by Darwin Nunez. Assists, I think, for a bunch of players, but I think Diogo Jota clear man of the match because he also had an assist. What did you guys think about the game, which I'm sure you guys just did not see at all?
I watched the highlights. And I
Excellent.
thought that first half looked really tight. And then second half, the first goal that Nunez scored, it felt like Bournemouth just forgot how to defend, or you hadn't come warm enough for the second half, because that was some really poor defending. And then after that, it was just the floodgates opened up.
Yeah, I also feel like maybe they were like, this guy's going to miss. Like, this guy's definitely going to miss this shot. They were quite, I think they were prepared to attack or defend against 10 players, and they were like, chalo, we let Nunez. As someone said, if you give Nunez the time to think, he'll fuck up. The trick is to give him time to think. The trick. Unfortunately, they cramped him for space and he knew what to do. Yes, there have been shouts of, Liverpool probably going to decline because there's no Salah, there's no Trent, there's no Szoboszlai, there's no Wataru Endo, Scouse Samurai, as he's affectionately called. But Liverpool ended up winning with 4 goals to 0, a clean sheet and a goal rout. What does say a Nunez look like to football fans who are not Liverpool fans? Because to us, it's an incredibly frustrating player, right? Because He scores, then he misses, and he misses, and he misses, and then he scores again. But he's super active, and he's creating chances, and then he's creating chances that shouldn't be there, but he's missing those chances. So it's an incredibly hard player for Liverpool to judge. So what is it like for you guys to look at a player like him?
I don't know, man. He
Prashant?
seems. I think he's a proper mix between a Werner. I think when you mentioned whether he's supposed to be a hot cold
A
player,
Werner and
I don't know about, at least not in the recent
the
one. But
second half, you don't know who the dad is.
no.
It's a Mamma Mia situation we've got.
No. So I would still think that Nunez is far better, of course. And if you're actually looking at poll point of view, but with Nunez, I think it is just one of those things that he may not be one of those players who you want to keep on all games. He's going to play all the types of games. He's probably going to be for certain types of games that you want to play against. I'm not saying that Bournemouth is, of course, Bournemouth must have been a very easy game for him to score against, but where does a team want to push it up to? I'm not saying that he's going to be the kind of player who you would expect to score high onto the big clubs. Maybe he can just come in for like a mid-table fight or something like that. I still don't think he's rated to be a player who has to be onto a top club to get you more goals.
Ooh, excellent. Aakarsh, what do you have to say?
I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit unfortunate because he came in the same window as Erling Haaland, and because of Haaland's clauses, he was a more expensive player as Haaland. So he's always going to be compared with that robot machine of a person. But I think he's young. Everyone who is not named Erling Haaland always takes some time to adjust to the Premier League because it's definitely the quickest, the toughest, the most physical league. So he had a very bad first season. Now,
Prashant, did you catch the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game, which ended in 5-0, and Crystal Palace just opened doors for Arsenal?
I did. Man, did you see the end of it? Not just the end, but did you see, I mean, end as in like how the Palace fans were just so, they made themselves so obvious saying that, they don't want Hodgson also around now. Like,
they don't want Hodgson. It is.
Yeah, just, I mean, why can't they just make up their mind? Like, do you want him? Do you not want him? Are you in a shit place and you still want him back? I don't get it.
There are two sides to this, right? One is that I sometimes feel like, hey man, it's great that there's a manager who's willing to, at 76 or so, he's still turning up every day, taking shit. But somewhere a part of me is like, "Arey, ghar jana chacha." Like, how much are you doing all this? How much do you want to suffer through this? Don't you want to chill with grandkids and don't you want to chill with spend time with your wife or something? I don't know. Yes, Aakarsh, you were saying.
I feel like he should become just a firefighter. I think last season Patrick Vieira deserved to be sacked after a while, and Roy Hodgson came in, steadied the ship, gave them a fairly respectable finish, and should have said, okay, thank you, I came, rescued my club, now you'll get someone more forward thinking, more long-term planning. The club should have thought more long-term and forward, because they should have started the season with a new manager, and now it feels like even Roy is done because he's thrown, for the second time this season, he's thrown the young players under the bus after this game, and he said, oh, we were playing poorly and I put the young players on, and then immediately we conceded 2 goals, so they clearly didn't do a great job. And like Troy Deeney paid the price for it.
Yeah.
We've seen managers pay the price for it earlier. You can't throw your young players under the bus, and I will be very surprised if he's still around before the next game week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like, it was the Palace fans were calling for his head towards the end of the game. So it feels like that breakdown in relationship has happened. And if he's still in charge next game weeks, Palace will lose miserably again. He will become toxic and then he'll have to go. So I think it will make sense for him to get sacked before that happens. New manager bounce is needed.
New manager bounce is needed,
and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I read a tweet that said Graham Potter was in the audience for that game.
Oh no! Oh no!
So Because
Excellent.
that makes sense. You
Yeah.
need a long-term thinking manager.
Yeah. And
So
then we
that would
can
be very
have
interesting.
a Brighton versus
This
Crystal Palace derby, the Dezabi Zabi, the Derby Zabi, which will uh, ensue. All right, with that, we will conclude the first half. We have concluded the first half, and we will move on to the second half where we have some questions on an incredibly fun quiz game in which Aakarsh gets a chance to overtake Amogh in the football quiz that's been going on for months, and Prashant gets to participate. Uh, all right, see you on the other side. All right, welcome back, Prashant. Welcome back, Akash. And we're back in the second half.
Listeners को भी
And
welcome back बोल दो यार.
we begin the second half.
Listeners.
with listeners, the audience.
Welcome back, listeners. I don't know where you went off when we said you take a break, but wherever you went off to, thanks for finishing that task off really fast and coming back. So, welcome back, everybody. And now we have some questions.
Questions with the corner flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
Okay, so first question is by Daksh.7. He says, should Mourinho be a Premier League manager again?
Yes. The question is always, the answer is always
where?
yes. Maybe Newcastle. I feel like I would want to see Mourinho at a club like Newcastle, which has, because I think Eddie Howe might go soon. I doubt if Newcastle are a serious club with serious ambition. I think the Eddie Howe phase is finished. It was get them, show that they can come to a top four, which they have, but show also that they need some clinical.
You think Mourinho can do that?
I can't think of a manager currently who can do that. See, because the best managers are still going to go to the top 6-7 clubs, right? And it helped. It was in Manchester City's favor that Manchester United declined, and it didn't attract the kind of elite management that it would have otherwise attracted. So, whereas right now there's no other club going down. So until a big club goes down, I think they probably have to make do with managers who were once glorious. And I think Jose Mourinho is a very, very good bet still. He still understands football really well. He's managed at whatever level in bigger budgets. He still managed, I think, 2 European finals in the last couple of years, and he's won
With
one.
Roma.
Yeah, and I think culturally he's a good fit at Newcastle because Newcastle fans have this weird victim tendencies. They're like, hey man, things are against us. And even though they clearly have all the riches, which I think perfectly suits Mourinho, he's always plays the victim card and he feeds off of clubs that play that victim card well.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I feel like Newcastle would be great, but they should only give him a 2-year contract. They have to get rid of him before that third toxic Mourinho, inevitable Mourinho third year syndrome happens, which will set them back. So give him a 2-year contract. In those 2 years, kuch to Conference League type jeet ke dega wo, and then bus pack him off.
Yeah. And then you get a bigger manager. Then you get or maybe Xabi Alonso might be for you, but then maybe by then you get a Dezabi or someone who's a little more experienced, someone or some new guy who's turned up by then. But I do think with Aakarsh, I think it's a great buy for Newcastle if they manage to get Mourinho. And any other club, do you think where you see him fit? A return to Chelsea, perhaps?
Kyun? No. Why?
Why not finish
No.
finish the trilogy?
No, I can't see him at any of the top 6 clubs. Maybe
any of the others?
Again, Leicester are doing really well in the championship to want a new manager. But others, I would want him to go to a club in the championship and bring them up or do something like that. Do what?
Why not Palace?
Wrexham. Are you basically saying Mourinho?
No, I think Wrexham in League 2 or League 1, where they'll eventually be, is too close to the bottom. Someone in the championship. Who else is there? Leeds.
Mourinho at Leeds sounds dangerous. Yes, I would actually say for Mourinho Wrexham, and because that's going to be a great documentary. I think Hollywood and Mourinho, I think, is a great documentary
Yeah, but
to
there's
be
a lot of
made. But
happiness about Wrexham, and Mourinho's not a happy person. He's a black hole. So I think he won't fit.
but it's perfect. It's like black coffee and white milk. Will give you the greatest coffee.
Okay. Next question's by Noob Clicks. He says, "Is this the most silent transfer window?"
Yeah.
Yes,
But I mean,
easily
like, who knows?
the most.
On deadline day, suddenly they'll be like,
Deadline day.
Ferran Torres
Yeah.
moves to Chelsea for some 100 million, and then everything goes nuts after that.
Yeah, but also because I think it's that eerie silence. It's not a hey man, we're all happy where we are. We've got the parts that we need. It's sort of "Arey, chal, police are bhag."
Yeah.
It's that. It's
Lots
that
of
silence. It's not. There's
loans
nothing.
with obligations or like small down payment but big
Yeah,
later clauses. That kind of
yeah.
rubbish is gonna
Converting
happen.
black to white,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah,
Somebody, man.
converting black to white.
The next one's by Arbin R. He says, "Do Liverpool play better without Salah?"
Oh no! Wow, very clear, straightforward questions. No, that's not a thing. What did you guys think? As people who've seen the extended highlights of how Liverpool perform.
I have no comment because I have not enough information and I don't care.
Yeah,
Fair.
no, but I doubt any team plays worse off
Yeah.
with Salah in it.
Yeah.
Even a team of 10 Manes plays better with Salah in it. So I think that probably answers your question.
Next one's by Ashwin040. He says, "Nunez proving everyone wrong is amazing to watch." That is, it is. Is it proving entirely wrong?
I don't know, man. I've never seen a more uh, polarizing player, because some are like, oh, he should be doing even better. Some are like, oh my God, this is already too much, which probably makes him about bang average. Like, not average, like a little above. I think he's above average, which is like, he's not the worst. He's not the best. He's not about average. He's just a little
20
there.
matches, 7 goals,
So I don't
6
think he's
assists.
really.
That's not a bad return, yeah.
No, because I
I
think.
feel like if you keep his price
No,
tag
but I'm
out,
saying
it's a good return.
But that's the problem, right? When you say proving people wrong, it could mean who are these
Expectation very
people
different, yeah.
and what do they believe? Yeah, like I'm saying, no, I'm saying he could be proving both sets of doubters wrong. The people who believe he's amazing, and then he'll miss. But like, because this is also, I think, first Premier League goal in some 10 games or something like that. He has some incredible statistic like that. So he hasn't really scored in a while. So clearly he's proving his believers wrong. But also when he does score, there's a little assist everywhere. There's almost always at least a second assist, if not an assist. He's creating those extra runs, fakes. So I guess that's proving his doubters wrong. So Schrodinger's Nunez. He's both good and bad, and average, and above average.
The last one is by Venkat Jutor. He says, "Liverpool backup right back has better stats than Chelsea captain." Wow.
Prashant, what do you have
I
to say
shouldn't
about
have read that question. So moving on.
That's about it.
No.
When people spit facts at us, we just say yes and we move on.
That's right. That's right. It is true. I mean, stats are stats. What are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah, stats. It's not like they're like truths or something.
They're just numbers. Yeah.
I can see numbers like 1,000. There you go. Beat your stats.
That's right.
And we're done with
that's
the
all the
questions.
questions. Yeah, that's all with the questions.
Thank you, all of you, for writing in the questions. It's always fun responding to your questions. And it's always fun when you ask a Chelsea hating question and we get Prashant's very morose response. And with that done, we move to the most exciting quiz of the year called Mukesh's Quiz, which is hosted by
Darwin Nunez.
first name Mukesh, second name Quiz.
Darwin Nunez.
But yes, it is hosted by me. And for those of you who don't know what's happening, we host periodically we host quizzes hosted by one of us, and now it's my turn. And these quizzes generally go on for the length of months, if not an entire season. And this one has been going on for a couple of months now. Aakarsh and Amogh have been competing neck to neck, and Prashant has been coming on and off, and he's not been participating. But he's
Just
a friendly
shows you,
spectator.
just shows you how far off I've been because I've got zero idea about the game.
Yeah, he's like Leicester, so he's out of for
Yeah,
this
that's why
season. But
the only reason you're
he's
explaining
coming
this
back.
game today is because Prashant is here. I know the game, listeners know the game. Prashant
That's
Yeah.
true, and the audience
Yeah.
knows it.
Let's
Yeah,
listen to the game.
yeah,
And
that's true.
so, to give you some more context, earlier in an episode when Aakarsh was absent, I gave Amogh the chance to overtake Aakarsh and
And
get a
all the
lead
answers were
because
evident.
Aakarsh
There were
needed to be
multiple
punished,
questions, all the answers were
and all the
evident.
answers. Again, you guys should know. It's not like it was about Everton's players, but the answer
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Everton. That's how straightforward those questions were. So now to give a chance to Aakarsh to uh, win some points back, because now Amogh is given a miss because he apparently has a life, loser.
This is my game in
Um,
hand.
I have listed some questions so that Aakarsh may get some points extra. As of now, the scores are Amogh is at 45 points, Aakarsh is at 41 points, and Prashant is at 1,000 trees because that's the points that he has.
I love those
so
stats.
how-
I love those
You
numbers.
love those stats. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Each question gives you 2 points, right? And here's how it'll work. Prashant can participate because I'm going to make it a little more challenging for Aakarsh than it was for Amogh.
I love the option.
Prashant can participate,
I
but
love the
the
option.
trick is that if Prashant gets the answer right, then Aakarsh doesn't get those points, even if he gets
Hey,
it second.
what the hell?
Right? So Aakarsh is competing
Why wasn't Amogh
because you have a
all
lot more
these
questions.
obstacles?
Because Amogh had fewer questions, you have a lot more questions to answer.
Yeah, Amogh had
And
lot-
Amogh hosts the
Amogh
podcast.
had-
He misses a
Fine,
lot fewer
fine.
episodes than you, so his punishment is
Fine, I'll ace it
milder.
anyways.
Yeah. So, and at some point, if I'm feeling very evil, I will be like, even if Prashant gets the correct answer after you, I still might not give you points, but that's up to my my feelings at that point of time. So,
What?
Aakarsh, are you ready for your first 2-point question? Again, a reminder, you are currently 4 points
Okay.
behind Amogh, and you have many shots at overtaking him, and you're 4 points behind. And each question from now on will give you
Okay.
2 points. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to read out a list of Liverpool players, right? And you have to tell me what is the statistic that I'm covering. It's obviously nothing Liverpool related. It's obviously a popular statistic, but I'm just going to, this statistic is related to Liverpool
Okay.
players, right? Which is, and just listen to the names carefully. Just listen to the names that you probably heard of only. Jamie Carragher, Lucas Leiva, Rob Jones, Jamie Carragher, Stephen Henchos, and Joe Gomez.
Is it something to do with own goals?
It's not own goals. Whoever shoots the answer first. So Prashant, you can keep
Oh.
guessing it. There's no
The
turns.
most clearances from the box.
No. Oh, okay. Think something quirky. It obviously won't be
Oh, okay.
something straightforward.
Red cards.
Nope, not red cards.
Most.
I'll give you the next 2 names
Okay.
on the list. Yeah, okay, go for it.
Most
No, go for it.
like viral memes or something like that.
No. Okay. So the next names are Steve Finnan and Allison.
That's made me more confused if that was possible.
Yes. But again, once. So what could the statistic be?
Oh, is it the latest goal scored in a game in the Premier League?
It's not that, but I mean you're right there on the quirk factor. It is something yeah, thereabouts.
Not
thereabouts.
latest stoppage time goal.
No, it's not the latest goal, but it is something clearly now you got it. It is a goal related.
Is it the
thing.
last goal of the season that someone has scored?
No, okay.
Most
can give you-
number of
I
goals
can
that
give you a
happened in the
clue for
90s.
1 point. Sorry? No,
Most
no,
number
it's
of
not
goals
that.
happened. No.
Nope. I can give you a clue, but that'll only make it for 1 point. Is that okay? Because then it'll make it very easy.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just going to utter a name and then you should get it. I'm not going to say anything more than that's
Huh.
just your clue. Okay? So this is Liverpool related. Okay? All of what the
Okay.
names I've said. Tony Hibbert.
Huh?
That's just the clue is.
Tony Hibbert. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you give me the whole list again? Eh,
The list is Jamie Carragher, Lucas Leiva, Rob Jones, Jamie Carragher again, Stephen Henshaw, Joe Gomez, Stephen Finnan, and Allison.
And then Tony Hibbert is a part of this
Yeah,
list.
it's Steve Finnan, Allison Becker. No, Tony Hibbert is not part of the list. But if I were to make this list for Everton, Tony Hibbert would feature in it. Because and just to give you some context, it's Alison Becker's name comes twice. So right, like it's Alison Becker and Alison Becker again.
What?
I don't know what is this weird.
I have no idea. I can't even think of a guess
Yeah,
to make. Like with every clue, you've made it harder.
No, once in a while you'll understand it,
Okay,
Tony.
I pass.
Okay, so I'm going to give up the answer. It is players in the Premier League who've gone the longest without scoring a goal.
Hmm.
And Joe Gomez is currently, I think, gone the longest in the Premier League without scoring a goal. And
Well, how is
Tony Hibbert,
Allison there
because Tony Hibbert
twice?
didn't score a goal. Because he didn't score a goal from his debut till that goal that he scored, and then from that middle time to now, it's again the longest.
So longest
So he
run
scored a
without
goal for
scoring,
Liverpool
basically.
before. Yeah, without scoring a Premier League goal.
Oh, interesting.
All right. We will go to the second question now. Second question now. Jose Luis Chilavert is a former Paraguayan player who has scored 67 professional goals. He even contested local elections, but he got less than 1% of the votes. He even punched Maradona once. But what is his real claim to fame? Put Funda. Like, what is it? Why? What is so unique about this player? Jose Luis Chilavert.
Jose Luis Chilavert.
Chilavert is a Paraguayan player. He scored about 67 professional goals. Contested local elections, got less than 1%, became a laughingstock. He punched Maradona once. But he has a greater claim to fame than any of this, which we all know. All of us know this.
And it is football related?
Of course. It is not football related. It is related to something I've said as of now. Like I've already said what his claim to fame is. What is unique about whatever I've said so far? What is unique about him? What is his claim to fame?
Paraguayan player punched Maradona.
Scored 67 goals.
67 goals.
I suppose his claim to fame has to be that he punched Maradona. I don't know.
He did something bigger than that.
So there's something more. There's something more bigger than that.
He was the guy who was supplying the lines to Maradona when he got punched in the face.
Good guess. I will give you 10 apples for that, but that's the wrong answer.
But I have 1,000 trees. What kind of math is that?
Well, 10 apples grew on
1,000 trees and you have 10
like
apples.
1 in every 100 of those trees.
It's a very bad conversion, though.
Yeah, well, that's the Chelsea striker conversion rate.
All right, you can take 50,000 cardboard boxes.
Was he is it something like,
Okay.
but we know it. We know it.
We definitely know this. Or every football fan has heard of this. Or it doesn't matter if you don't.
But is it like
I'm sure you've heard
was
of
he
it.
the first Paraguayan player to play in the Premier League? Something like that?
No. Okay, I'll give you a clue. But still maybe for 2 points only. There is something about the 67 goals he scored. That's unusual.
Did he punch all those goals in?
Did he score them all as a
Excellently,
substitute?
Amir. Good guess, close, but not correct.
Okay. Is this
Should I give you a clue for 1
is
point?
this the keeper who used to take free kicks? Oh
Yes, he is the
yes.
goalkeeper. He is the famous goalkeeper who took all the penalties, all the most of their free kicks, and ended up converting them. And he is on the
Right.
top of many, many lists. His name is, let me pronounce it perfectly,
Jose?
Jose Luis Chilavert. That's his name, and he scored about 67 goals, and he was called the Bulldog, and he had even, I think, Bulldog printed on his jersey. But I think he was the goalkeeper who scored many, many goals. So with that, Aakarsh gets 2 extra points,
Nice.
taking him to 43, while Amogh languishes at 45. All right. Okay. George Weah is a former football player who you might have heard of, and also the president of Liberia, or former president of Liberia.
Hmm.
Fair enough?
Hmm.
Understood? We're talking about the player George Weah and former president. But there is a football achievement that sets him apart from the likes of Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Messi, and Pele. Like the greats is what I mean. What is this exact football achievement? Put Funda.
Wasn't he a part? Wasn't he a part of the Invincibles?
Uh, sure, but there were many other players. But there's one list, one thing that he's a part of that sets him apart from all of these players. When I say Ronaldo, I mean the Brazilian Ronaldo, and that's an important clarification for the answer, right? From the likes of Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Messi, and Pele.
He can't. He can't.
What is it?
It's wrong, but did he have more golden boots, like World Cup golden boots, than these guys? Did he have more World Cup golden
Don't
boots?
seem
No,
like
it's
it.
No.
nope. It's not the golden boots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get a clue at this point.
Okay. Okay. It's something to okay. Okay. I'll give it to you one clue, because if I give you the clue, I think you might get it very easily. But it's something to do with a coveted prize. And again, remember, I said that sets him apart from all. I'm sure you'd have noticed that all the players I gave are all South American players. So, what is it? What is it about him?
American players means players who played in MLS. South American
No,
players.
the South American players.
South
what I mean,
American
like,
players.
the examples I gave. So, what is it
Got
about
like more man of the matches
him
or something?
that he achieved?
No, it's got to do something with
No.
CONCACAF, I'm guessing. Oh, it
No.
doesn't.
It has nothing to do with CONCACAF. I'm saying,
It's not.
think of the players
I
I
think it's more
mentioned, okay?
international level, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Close
you
enough.
said Ronaldo,
But I'll read
Rivaldo,
it out again. George
Messi.
Weah
I mean, he played in the Premier
and
League
Pele.
while those guys didn't.
Correct. So George Weah is a former president of Liberia and a Liberian footballer, former Liberian footballer, right? He has achieved something that Cristiano Ronaldo has done, Messi has done, I think Cannavaro has done, all these players have done, but there is something about the fact that he's done it that's unique.
Oh, has he captained 2 countries at a World Cup?
No.
So then
But I guess you are.
I'm close.
I mean, you're in the right zone of thinking, but it's not.
So
that.
it's something to
Like,
do
yeah,
with
it
him
is something.
changing nationalities.
No. What I mean is, it is something to do with him being
A captain.
It is at that scale. I think it is at that scale of fact. Like, it is that unique a thing. It is something like that. That's what I mean. Okay, I'll give you a clue for one point. It has to do something with the Ballon d'Or.
Okay. So more than Ronaldo, Rivaldo.
not more than, but I'm saying now that league of players. I mean, that was the clue to give away the Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
But now, okay, what is it about him winning the Ballon d'Or that makes his achievement very unique and puts him on a unique list that, say, a player like Ronaldo or Messi
He has had more appearances in the game.
can never even boast about?
Most appearances.
Oh, so
Compared to
Ronaldo
them?
and Messi cannot boast about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I was thinking on the lines of won the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or combination, but Messi's done that. Ronaldo's done that. Cannavaro's also done that. So, I don't know. Pass.
Okay. He is the only African player to have won
Oh,
the Ballon d'Or.
jeez.
While there are that's why I kept saying Liberia. And that he won it while, of course, captaining Liberia. Many have said that he was Mohamed Salah or someone, but he won that Ballon d'Or and he's the only African player to have won it.
Nice. That's a good fact.
Okay, now a quick silly question. Tell me a team name which starts with 5 consonants. Quickly, tell me a name.
Aberist with FC.
Nope, it's Premier League. I mean, obviously in the top 5 leagues. But Aberist already begins with an A.
Oh, in the top 5. Yeah, sorry, because I was like, it doesn't have an E.
What?
In the top 5
But
leagues.
I'm saying only starts with consonants. No, okay, yeah, a club whose first 5 letters are consonants.
Wow, that sounds impossible. Oh, isn't is it a Ukrainian club? Oh,
Nope.
wait, you said top 5 leagues. Damn.
I can give you a clue for 1 point, which will take you closer to where Amogh is.
Yeah, okay, give me a clue.
We've spoken about this club
In this podcast?
Yeah.
No,
I
means
think
like
it's
this,
the only
this
club
today.
with such a unique today's podcast.
Nottingham
It's
Forest.
the only club with such a lexicographical record.
Is it Wrexham's Welsh name that you're referring to?
No, but good guess, but no. I'm talking about obviously clearly English names. Okay, I'm going to close this question in 10 seconds and then move on to our final question. So, Aakarsh, you have 10 seconds starting now.
Not Leeds, not Leicester, not what clubs have we spoke about today? Roma, Newcastle. Yeah, I don't know.
10 seconds are far over. It's Crystal Palace.
Oh God.
Because they make use of a Y. But it's a unique record. It's the unique club to have that, where the first 5 consonants are English.
Nice.
All right. Okay, this is the final question of the session. Who worked as Bobby Robson's interpreter at both Sporting Lisbon and Porto?
Jose Mourinho.
Yes, excellent.
Ooh.
With that question, you get 2 points, and that takes you to 45 points, leaving you exactly on the same number of points as Amogh. Congratulations, Aakarsh. You won 4 points today, thus equaling with Amogh at 45. Well done. Some hard questions, couple of easy
Wait,
questions,
Amogh
couple of
still had
tricky ones,
more
but an excellent
questions.
performance.
Amogh had
No,
5
he had about
points
5, 6
that
questions.
were 5 questions that were Everton, and then there were those like middle name things and the
But
scores.
it was the same number of points that
God
were
damn
competed
it.
for. It was the same number of points that were competed for.
Fine.
And come on,
And
it's
I got
Amogh.
no
He
trees,
needs a
no
little
bananas,
help.
no apples, no cardboard boxes. What a disappointing
I know,
game
I'm
week.
sorry. You walk away with points and accolades, and Prashant walks away with apples, trees, and cardboard boxes. So thank you for participating. You guys were excellent contestants. Aakarsh, you got 4 points. Excellent. Congratulations. Look forward to your final face-off with Amogh when we resume next week, hopefully. And Prashant, thank you for participating. You get 35 chais.
So
Standard
right after our
100 ml
recording,
chais.
right
Yes.
after our podcast, I'm just going to go and make a fruit salad and I'm going to have a chai alongside with it. So
And cut some trees and pack them in cardboard boxes.
That's
And
right.
with that, we can
Right.
conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys. Thank you for streaming in. Thank you, Aakarsh. Thank you, Prashant. No, thank you, Amogh, for missing this and losing points. Thank you to all the listeners for listening in. Thank you to all the people who tuned out for tuning out. Thank you to Kaisa Garda for the main theme song of the corner flag. Say thank you, boys.
Thanks.
Bye.
And see you guys next week.
Yes, see you guys next week. My name is Mukesh Manjunath. I should have said that first. My name is Mukesh Manjunath, and see you next week.